Hello, welcome to Community News.
Audience. I also have the same intel. I also have the same intel that yes, I also have the same intel that the IGP agreed with Bugri Naabu after Bugri Naabu had gone to inform the IGP that somebody wants your post, so he has come to me, to the extent that the CV that was collected from commissioner and sent to Bugri Naabu by those boys, they are two. They are prepared to come here and testify. They are two. They collected it, sent it to Bugri Naabu. Bugri Naabu gave the CV that was intended for the appointing authority. He gave it to the IGP. I would want that. I would be happy that I say more when I'm in camera, because it is not a healthy development at all.
Superintendent Asare, the Director General of the Police Intelligence Department, met the Ad-hoc Parliamentary Committee investigating the leak audio recording on the 4th September 2023. The committee was set up by Parliament to investigate an alleged plot to oust Inspector General of Police George Akufu Dampare. So, a little background of the whole issue. A leaked audio recording emerged in 2023 in which a senior police officer was heard discussing with a politician the removal of the Inspector General of Police IGP Dr. Akufu Dampare. The audio recording, which is about 15 minutes long, was first aired by GH1 TV on August 22nd, 2023. In the recording, the police officer, who is identified as COP George Alex Mensah, is heard telling the politician, who is identified as Daniel Bugri Naabu, that the MPP government will not win the 2024 election if Dampare remains in office. He alleges that Dampare is too firm and will not allow the election to be rigged. Mensah also suggested that Dampare should be removed because he is not a member of the MPP. He says that Dampare was appointed by the previous government, the National Democratic Congress, NDC, and that he is not loyal to the MPP. Bugri Naabu, for his part, agrees that Dampare should be removed and suggested that he should be replaced by someone who is more loyal to the MPP. He also suggested that the MPP should use its political powers to pressure the president to remove Dampare. The leaked audio recording has sparked a major political controversy in Ghana. The MPP has denied any involvement in the plot to remove Dampare, and the IGP has also said that he is not concerned about the recording. However, the recording has raised questions about the political neutrality of the police and the integrity of the upcoming elections. An ad hoc parliamentary committee has been set up to investigate the leaked audio recording. The committee is expected to submit its report by September 10th, 2023. In the meantime, the leaked audio recording has damaged the reputation of the police and the MPP government. It has also raised concerns about the fairness of the upcoming elections. The outcome of the investigation by the parliamentary committee will be closely watched by Ghanaians. Okay, so on Friday, on the 1st of September 2023, COP Mensah appeared before the committee, and then, as usual, he answered a lot of questions were asked, and then he answered. So on the 4th of September 2023, the second accused person, who was heard on the tape, Superintendent Asare also appeared before the committee, and then he also was asked about a lot of questions, and then he answered. So I've captured about 5 or 6 of the questions that was asked, and then his responses. Okay, so the first one that was asked on my list was, who leaked and doctored the tape? You know, on Friday, those who have followed the proceedings, on Friday, when COP George appeared, so COP George Mensah appeared before the committee, he emphasized that the audio is doctored. The audio was doctored, and then it's not complete. Okay, so today on Monday, when Superintendent Asare also met the committee, he also said the same thing, that the audio is doctored and it's not complete. So he was asked who leaked and doctored the tape, and let's listen to his response.
Chief Bugri Naabu informed this committee that wasn't the full tape. You are also alluding to the fact that the tape is doctored. Why do you think somebody would doct that tape? And if so, who do you think would have done this?
Honorable Chair, these are some of the matters that I've promised the committee that I want to do it in camera, because it concerns national security. It's a serious matter. I want to do it in camera.
Okay, so he was also asked, how are IGPs appointed in Ghana? How are IGPs appointed in Ghana? And this was his response.
For your 27 years of experience, can we help this committee, and of course the public that is working, that is watching, how are IGPs appointed?
Honorable Chair, just as you rightly said, what I know is that appointment of the Inspector General of Police is the sole prerogative of the President of the land, of the Republic. And that is what the Constitution says, Article 200 clause 1, that the President, in consultation with the Council of State, shall appoint the Inspector General of Police.
By implication, it is the prerogative of the President, as he said. Is it very okay to also lobby for the position?
Honorable Chair, this is my personal opinion, which has gotten nothing to do with the tape. But if I'm to express my opinion, lobbying has been with man from antiquity. It is not today that lobbying started. Lobbying is all over, everywhere. In some jurisdictions, there are some bodies that are called lobbyists. If you want them to lobby for you, you just engage them. You do the work for you. But I haven't lobbied for anything before.
If I may just...
Okay, so he was also asked the role of the police council in appointing IGP, and also the role of Bugri Naabu in appointing IGP in Ghana, and this is what he said.
Superintendent Asare, do you know the role of the police council vis-a-vis appointment of inspectors general of police?
Mr. Chair, I have never had the opportunity to work with the police council, but With the appointment of the Inspector General of Police, I have made it clear to the committee.
If I can recall what you said, it is a prerogative of His Excellency the President to appoint in consultation with the Council of State. And you and I know that the Police Council provides strategic and policy advice on matters of the police to the President. The question I want to ask, which role do you think Chief Bugri Naabu will be playing to facilitate the appointment of an IGP?
Honorable Chair, Chief Bugri Naabu, as we all know, is a politician. He was the regional chair for the MPP in the Northern region. And now, he is a National Council member. And when we met him in the course of our conversation, he did indicate that he recommended the current IGP to the President. So he made a statement, and if a politician tells you this, as to whether or not it is true, you leave it as it is, because I don't need any appointment, and I wasn't again as well lobbying for anybody.
If you look,
Okay, so he was asked whether Bugri Naabu called him after the tape was leaked. And this is what he said.
Did Alhaji call you after the tape has been leaked?
That is correct, Honorable Chair.
And what was his words? Can you tell the committee?
Honorable Chair, after the tape had leaked, I didn't know. Somebody, a friend of mine, called me. I've been hearing your voice on air. Why? Have you had a meeting with somebody that has come out in the public domain? So I asked that the person sends me a copy of it. He sent it to me, and I listened, and it was my voice. There I realized, hey, Alhaji, so was that the reason why he was calling me left, right, center like that? So he asked, when Alhaji called, later Alhaji called, Asante. He called me Asante. Asante. I thought maybe he was confusing my name Asare for Asante. So I didn't ask any question. Why? Why have you given the thing out? They are playing the discard the tape. Why did you do that? And then I just hung up.
So he referred to you as Asante.
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 Not Asare.
Not Asare, Asante.
All right. Okay. You proceed.
Asante. So, in fact, because somebody had earlier on called me to tell me this is what has happened, in fact, I wasn't happy. Why do you do this to me? And then later around 10 round and come and ask me, Asante, why have you done this? What is the meaning of all this?
So by Okay, so another question was asked. On Friday, 1st September, when the COP Mensah appeared before the committee, he accused the current IGP of leaking the tape. We all know. And then he was asked, since he is also saying the same thing that the tape is not complete, they asked him, where is the original tape and who leaked the tape? He confirmed IGP leaked the tape. Let's watch it.
Of the transcript, I think our last sitting, Mr. Mensah said, Mr. Chairman, my intel suggests that what was used to tape the conversation was done by the current IGP. He sent some people to do it, after which he went for it. So the tape from my intel is with the IGP, and he caused it to be leaked. So if this committee wants the tape, the right person to call blah blah is the IGP. And then I want to know, why do you think Commissioner Mensah will make such a statement?
Honorable Chair, with your indulgence, I also have the same intel. I also have the same intel that, yes, I also have the same intel that the IGP agreed with Bugri Naabu after Bugri Naabu had gone to inform the IGP that somebody wants your post, so he has come to me. To the extent that the CV that was collected from Commissioner and sent to Bugri Naabu by those boys, they are two. They are prepared to come here and testify. They are two. They collected it, sent it to Bugri Naabu. Bugri Naabu gave the CV that was intended for the appointing authority. He gave it to the IGP.
Chairman.
I would want that. I would be happy that I say more when I'm in camera, because it is not a healthy development at all.
Okay, part of the tape suggested that Superintendent Asare recommended some people to Bugri Naabu, and one of them was COP Mensah. So the committee asked him, at the time he recommended COP Mensah was on leave. So why did he recommend someone who was almost finished? Going on retirement. And this was his response.
Superintendent Asare.
Honorable Chair.
Was it the case that at the time you recommended to Chief Bugri Naabu that Commissioner Mensah is an IGP material? Was he on terminal leave?
As at the time, that is correct. That is correct.
So why did you want to recommend to Chief Bugri Naabu that a man who was almost finished should become the IGP?
Honorable Chair, for me, it is not strange, because we've had IGPs who are on contract basis. And that was why I said the appointment of the IGP, it didn't say that you have to be an active or a serving member or somebody who is retired. Because per what the Constitution says, the President, in consultation with the Council of State, shall appoint the Inspector General of Police. But it didn't specify whether you should be on retirement or you should be in active service.
It seems to me you have a historical record of your profession. Do you know of any IGPs who had retired and were brought back on contract to become IGPs? Or police officers who were retired, no IGPs?
Mr. Chair, I don't know of any IGP who was on retirement.
I corrected myself. Any retired senior police officer who was then brought back on contract to become an IGP.
I don't have anyone in mind.
Fine. Now,
Okay, so when Bugri Naabu appeared before the committee, he accused him, that's Superintendent Asare, the one sitting before the committee now. He accused him of threatening Bugri Naabu on phone. So the committee asked him, did he threaten Bugri Naabu? And this was his response.
Bugri Naabu is on record as having said that when he called you, you actually threatened him. Did you do that?
Honorable Chair, I have listened carefully to the tape three times. The one that was played when Chief Bugri Naabu appeared before you. And then the 2 times the tape was played. I listened carefully to it. Bugri Naabu didn't say that when he called me, I threatened him. What he did state was that when he called, I just hung up the phone. And then later on, his son, maybe you can play it again, you will hear this one. His son came to tell him, that he said, my son came to tell him that I have threatened him that he will see. That trying to suggest that I threatened him through his son, Prophet Emmanuel Tei Bugri Naabu, but not him directly. That was not what he said, Honorable Chair.
But did you have any discussion with Prophet Bugri Naabu after the audio had leaked?
Of course, yes, Honorable Chair.
What did you tell Prophet Bugri Naabu after the tape had leaked?
It could be either I called him or he called me, asking me about what has happened. And then he started, initially, he knew or he thought, let me choose my words carefully, he thought it was his father that leaked the tape, that recorded us and leaked the tape. So when he called, he condemned his father for that singular act of his. That you invite people to your office, you record them, and then put it out into the public domain. But later, upon further inquiries, remember I'm a policeman. For investigations, I'm very smart. But that side, when we meet in camera, you will know who did the recording, who was sent by who, and on what promise to who. You will get it when we meet in camera. And you will see that this inquiry that has been set up, it will either be a causing financial loss to the state by somebody.
yeah.
Okay, so spiritual matters also came. They discussed about spiritual matters because when you listen to the to the leak tape, there was something about spiritual matters. So when he appeared before the committee, one of the members asked him about the spiritual matters. So the question was, in the audio you said spiritually, Alhaji, you are in control. And then he was asked, what did he mean by Alhaji, you are in control when it comes to spiritual matters? This was his response.
Page 24. Alhaji, spiritually, you are the controller. This statement is also attributed to you. Do you confirm?
Yes. Yes. Honorable Chair, yes.
What is the meaning of that statement? Spiritually, you are in control. What is the meaning? You are the controller. What is the meaning? What do you mean?
Honorable, what I meant by that statement is that Chief Bugri Naabu made an emphatic statement that this thing, I just want to quote him verbatim, but it will be difficult. What all that he was trying to say was that this thing, you have to fight it both physically and spiritually. And then he gave us examples, but those examples, people that he helped them fight for the position spiritually. It was a private conversation. I don't want to make it public here. But the spiritual one, he went further to show us which places that he can go. So it was on the premise of this that I made that statement. That Alhaji, this one there, you are the boss. Because you made us understand that I didn't even know that when you are fighting for a position, you have to fight it in two ways, both spiritually and physically.
Chief Asare, you are a man steeped in religion and Christianity, and you went there for the first time with a prophet who intercedes on your behalf. So, what was going through your mind when they were talking about other things in a different spiritual realm?
Fine question, Honorable Chair. Very, very fine question. In fact, as I did indicate, there are so many issues with this tape. So many issues. The one who doctored it actually meant something evil. Because this is a conversation that we have had. You see, at one point, okay, all right. What was going through my mind, I said it, but it wasn't captured in the tape. It wasn't captured in the tape. That, Honorable, as for Master, he was there. As for Master, I don't think he would like these things. So he's a staunch Christian. So I don't think you buy into this idea of fighting this thing spiritually.
So the spiritually in the context of that discussion was juju or other things?
Honorable Chair, he mentioned some imams that he can help them pray for him. Some imams that he can help them, that can, some imams that can help him in prayers. Yeah, let me put it in a proper perspective.
What were they going to be doing apart from praying for him?
Honorable Chair, for prayers, it is a matter of belief. Me, as a Christian, that's what I believe. That if you conceive it in mind, that the prayer will come into fruition, so shall it be. If your mind is that it will not work. It will not work. That's my simple understanding of the whole thing.
Honorable Chair, just a second. Superintendent Asare, the son of Chief Bugri Naabu, Prophet Emmanuel Bugri Naabu, coincidentally happens to be your spiritual guide. He's happened to be your spiritual guide. And you go to the father, and the father says, this matter, we have to add spirituality. Why didn't you avail your mind to the fact that this is the father of the prophet speaking?
Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair. Alhaji Bugri, Chief Bugri Naabu, gave two, options. Not even option as he mentioned two ways that whilst fighting it physically, you can fight it spiritually. And then spiritually, myself, I'm in no doubt aware that Commissioner COP George Alex Mensah is a staunch Christian. And we made that statement known to Alhaji. But he insisted that he has to also see some malams. So he recommended about three. That's some in the north. Even in his statement he said it, in the tape, and in his evidence in chief to you, he stated it. That's some from his village. He mentioned it here. Yes. So it was Chief Bugri Naabu himself that came forth with that suggestion.
Just, you see, Mahatma Gandhi said something one time. He said, I like your Christ, but I don't like your Christians, because your Christians are unlike your Christ. You and Commissioner Mensah are staunch Christians. Lucky enough for Commissioner Mensah, Superintendent Asare has a prophet in the name of Prophet Emmanuel Bugri Naabu. And here's a matter that has come until spirituality has come to play. Did you draw the attention of Commissioner Mensah instead of listening to the diversion or the direction of Bugri Naabu? Let's use the prophet, because you believe so much in the prophet who happens to be your personal prophet.
Honorable Chair. Belief system is relative to people. What you believe in, somebody might not believe in it. So forcing your belief system on somebody, to me, is improper. But this particular one, it was Alhaji. Master knows he is a Christian, and he was well aware that he will resort to his Christian prayers. But in addition to that, Chief Bugri Naabu wanted him to as well allow him to consult some malams for him. And that was why I said, Alhaji, this one here, it is your job, so no problem. You can do it if you can help.
Honorable, do you have a long way to go?
No, please.
Okay, please try and wind up. So we come to Vice.
Grateful,
Yes.
Chairman. Grateful. You have mentioned three things. I just want you to clarify which one is
Okay, so Superintendent Asare also added that Bugri Naabu called him Asante when the leak got tape, when the leak, the audio leaked. Bugri Naabu called him Asante on phone. Let's listen to it.
I would be happy that I say more when I'm in camera, because it is not a healthy development at all.
Chairman, including the two boys. I said two boys.
Including the two boys. If you can remember, when Alaji called me, he knows my name, I'm Asare, but God works under mysterious circumstances. I don't know what moved Bugri Naabu into calling me Asante. And this Asante, per our intel, is a corporal or sergeant that has been promoted to go to police college to become an ASP. And this same ASP, it was Mr. Commissioner George Alex Mensah that made him go to the peacekeeping mission. But sir, let me say this in camera.
So all that he was saying was that
I don't know when
Bugri
I put
Naabu
my last question because of
Bugri Naabu mistakenly called him when the audio got leaked. According to him, Bugri Naabu was calling one Asante and mistakenly called him Superintendent Asare instead. Okay. So another question was asked whether he was invited by National Investigation Bureau when the audio was circulating all over social media, and this is what he said.
Appear before the National Investigations Bureau in relation to this same matter.
Honorable Chair, that is correct. Can I continue, Honorable Chair?
You can.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Yes, after the leakage of the, I call it so-called tape, leak tape, I was invited by the National Investigations Bureau, and I went. So when I went there, they interrogated me on this same tape as regards who did the recording, number one. Number two, who leaked it. I told them my side of the story, that I don't know anything about it. And then an ASP at the police office, at the police headquarters, PID unit, by name ASP Kenneth Asante, the BNI officers asked me, what is the relationship between the two of us? And I told him, I don't even know, I'm hearing the name for the first time. It was later on that I saw the guy, and I said, oh, was it not this guy that was in Accra region or the room? I don't know him. I don't know him. But Commissioner also go there, I went there. But what I gathered from there, Bugri, after the leakage, Bugri Naabu's special assistant, by name SK, was picked up in that morning by the NIB officers. And then the secretary was also picked up. And eventually, Chief Bugri Naabu was also invited to the place. These people, per my reliable information, apart from Alhaji Bugri Naabu, who went there and lied as usual. And he has lied on several occasions. I have Alhaji Bugri Naabu on tape. Everything he came to say here, on video, in his office, the same office. His relationship with IGP and contracts, 40,000 books, contracts.
My brother, you were very good and said you speak in camera. Have you forgotten yourself? Yes. Ask your very
Honorable Chair,
question
sorry.
whether
Honorable
you
Chair,
appear before the
Honorable
NIB.
Chair, sorry.
Okay.
Honorable Chair, I'm
All right.
sorry.
On this note.
Okay. So per the rules, there are certain things that you are not supposed to say while the media guys are around. So right after the last question, I mean, they told the media guys to go out, and then they had the remaining discussions in camera. Yeah, so some of the things that he said, he will say it when the media guys are out. That's what he said, and the chair, I mean, caution him about that. Okay, so the last question that I captured was, he was asked, per Ghana police rules, you are not supposed to involve in politics. Don't you think you have broken the rules? And this was his response.
One CI, and if I may read that just to refresh your memory. Regulation 82 of CI 76, in other words, Ghana Police Service Regulation 2012. 82. Right. Major offenses. It is a major offense for an officer to engage in an activity outside official duties, which is likely to involve the officer in political controversy. I am very happy you know that Chief Bugri Naabu is a politician, and a very seasoned one as such, the former regional chairman of the MPP, a national council member of the MPP. Discussing matters of the appointment of IGP with Chief Bugri Naabu and mentioning the name of the executive secretary to the president, Mr. Asante Bediatu's name, in the discussions. Do you, in your own professional mind, believe that this will not stoke political controversy?
Mr. Chair, we would want to object to this question. It is our considered view that answering this question may lead to the witness incriminating himself, because number one, it is a legal question. Honorable member has already referred to the police service regulations. The title is Major Offenses, and he going to answer in that manner may lead to unforeseen circumstances. So, my Lord, we would want to object to it.
Okay, following claims by COP Mensah that the IGP orchestrated the recording of the leaked tape and has the original copy and must be called upon if the committee needs the tape, several persons have called the IGP to be invited. While a member of the committee probing the issue, James Agaga said the committee may invite the IGP to help the investigation. Former Deputy Defense Minister Major Derek Odro thinks otherwise. There's no need for the IGP to be invited because it is accusations against him, and I don't know the terms of reference of the committee, and we are talking about a leaked tape, and I'm not sure the term of reference covers anything that will warrant the invitation of the IGP, and so I don't think it is in good direction for them to invite the IGP, Major Derek Odro said. Okay, so that's where I will end here, and then tomorrow, God willing, the committee will again sit, and then they will appear before the committee again, either Superintendent Asare or COP Mensah. Okay, thank you for watching, and please kindly subscribe to this YouTube channel.
Appear before the National Investigations Bureau in relation to this same matter?
Honorable Chair, that is correct. Can I continue, Honorable Chair?
You can.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Yes, after the leakage of the, I call it so-called tape, leak tape, I was invited by the National Investigations Bureau, and I went. So when I went there, they interrogated me on this same tape as regards who did the recording, number one. Number two, who leaked it. I told them my side of the story, that I don't know anything about it. And then an ASP at the police office, at the police headquarters, PID unit, by name ASP Kenneth Asante, the BNI officers asked me, what is the relationship between the two of us? And I told him, I don't even know, I'm hearing the name for the first time. It was later on that I saw the guy, and I said, oh, was it not this guy that was in Accra region or the room? I don't know him. I don't know him. But commissioner also go there, I went there. But what I gathered from there, Bugri, after the leakage, Bugri Naabu's special assistant, by name SK, was picked up in that morning by the NIB officers. And then the secretary was also picked up. And eventually, Chief Bugri Naabu was also invited to the place. These people, per my reliable information, apart from Alhaji Bugri Naabu, who went there and lied as usual. And he has lied on several occasions. I have Alhaji Bugri Naabu on tape. Everything he came to say here, on video, in his office, the same office. His relationship with IGP and contracts, 40,000 boots contracts.
My brother, you were very good and said you speak in camera. Have you forgotten yourself?
Yes.
Ask your very
Honorable
simple
Chair,
question
sorry.
whether
Honorable
you appear
Chair,
before the
Honorable
NIB.
Chair, sorry.
Okay.
Honorable Chair,
All right.
sorry.
On this note.
Okay, so this is where it ended. But I personally think that the committee should invite the IGP, because a lot of accusations, they've accused him a lot of things, and I personally think that the committee should invite IGP. If it will be in camera, fine. But I think he should be invited. Thank you for watching. We will meet again. Bye bye.